What's going on, guys? This is going to be 5 Minute Fantasies, Week 6, Booming and Busting Defenses. The start of the week is going to be the Washington Redskins. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why on earth would you ever start the Washington Redskins defense? For one reason, they're playing the Miami Dolphins. We all know how horrible Miami is. The only thing that saved them from getting an L last week was the bye, and I'm sure that they still found a way to drop in the power rankings. I think that right now, Alabama, Clemson, and probably LSU are all ahead of them in the Week 6 power rankings. So make sure to start Washington's defense. If you have it, make sure to pick it up if you don't. The Dallas Cowboys, I would say start their defense against the New York Jets. I think that the Dallas Cowboys could potentially be giving up a lot of yards, but with their linebackers and the secondary they have, they're not going to be giving up a lot of red zone points. So, potential yards, but then I think that the Jets aren't going to be able to capitalize on a lot of that. So look for a lot of field goals from them. So the Dallas, they should be well on their way this week for a good defensive performance. I'm going to say Tennessee, start Tennessee's defense with Kevin Byard, the name of the safety, who I forgot a few videos ago, Malcolm Butler, and, a really stout defensive front seven. Look for the Tennessee Titans defense going up against Denver to really capitalize on the opportunity to get back into the AFC South race. It's a really competitive division. It's a really barely above average division. But Tennessee wholeheartedly believes that they can get into this. So look for a great performance from them. Tennessee has had multiple sacks and multiple turnovers in every single game except one in each stat so far this week. So look for them to, have a really good performance this week against Denver. I'm going to say start the Los Angeles Rams defense. Again, they've had like 10 or 11 days to prepare for the San Francisco 49ers team, because they had the Thursday Night Football bye week next week after that. And it's an uninspiring San Francisco 49ers offense. I think that their offense plays to the strength of their defense. Meaning that, they have short fields, they have good running backs, they can just run up and milk the clock a lot. But I don't think they're going to be able to do that against the Rams. I think they're going to have to pass a lot. And this Rams team is an opportunist defense, meaning that I think that, when they have the lead, they'll jump for interceptions. They'll try to make hard hits to force fumbles instead of making tackles. So look for the Rams to have a good defensive performance this week. I'm going to say sit Denver, for the sole fact that their defense is so underwhelming this year. I know they have Von Miller, and I know they have Chris Harris Jr., and I know they're supposed to have a great defensive infrastructure, but so far this year they've had a very unimpressive defense. This year they've played 5 games, and they have sacks in one game. The game they played against Jacksonville, they've got 5 sacks. So the team has 5 sacks on the season, but they all came in one game. So they don't get sacks. The only time that their defense scores points, gets you fantasy points, is when they force turnovers, which is something that the Tennessee Titans do not do. They're a strong, hard-nosed, run-the-football team that doesn't fumble the football. Marcus Mariota has yet to throw an interception. Look for the Denver Broncos to absolutely just be outmatched defensively this game. I think that this could be a game where Derrick Henry ends up running for 180 yards. The Vikings, sit them against Philadelphia. I don't think that this game is going to be an easy, 24-16 win for the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to win, but I think it's going to be off the arm of Kirk Cousins. I've been a supporter of his, for several years, basically since his first full season in, Washington. And I think that this week, the Vikings defense is going to get kind of exposed. I think that Xavier Rhodes isn't as good as he used to be. So look to sit that team against Philly. And I'm going to say the same thing about Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a great running defense. Fortunately that for the Minnesota Vikings, they have a great running back. So that's about an even matchup there, which in the NFL is about 21 points. So if I thought that the Vikings had a horrible pass defense, the Vikings, or a horrible pass offense, my bad, the Vikings might only be able to score 14 points. But I think that they have a very good passing offense between Kirk Cousins Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, as well as Kyle Rudolph. So look for Philadelphia to be giving up a lot of points this week. And then I'm going to say sit Green Bay. I know I'm a little high on Detroit this week, but I was high on San Francisco last week, and it paid off. I think that Green Bay, they're very high on turnovers. They need to force fumbles, and they need to get interceptions to get points. They're okay at getting sacks, but this Detroit offensive line has been better and better every single week so far this year. So look for Green Bay's defense to be somewhat overmatched in a game that would be a really good Monday Night Football game so far this week.